today I have my small ring journal piece. I forget if I call it small or mini. I think it's small because my other one's mini. So this is my small one. And it will get a ring in it, which I still have not done even after recording. But I'm taking some Bristol smooth paper, and it's 3.5 by 5. And for some reason, it started going down really blotchy. So I decided to embrace the blotch and kind of added some water. Took it off a little bit and just started putting it on so that it would grab it in some places and the others. In the end, it's not going to make any difference. So don't panic yet. It's gonna look questionable for sure before I finish. So I get the color down, and then you can spray it with water and remove ink. And really, you can remove ink and remove ink and remove ink, but it really is never going to remove it all. But it seems like it always keeps removing. Anyway, so I'm kind of just taking off the really out there colors, and so it's kind of a little more subdued. Now I'm taking this stencil I got from Simon's Stamp, and we'll try to find the name of it. It's not on the stencil, but I guess I could probably look it up. Anyways, and then I'm taking Kitsch Flamingo and going to go into the stencil with that, which gives a kind of orangey look. And my floral I'm going to use is orange. So, and this kind of got a little bit of pink and a little bit of this and that. So, but even here, honestly, at the end, you can barely tell that pattern is here. You see glimpses of it, but not really much. I'm taking my fan spatter and remove some more ink. I think I do that a couple times just to get a little, I don't want a clean look. Again, don't get attached to seeing that design because you won't see much of it. So this is the flower I'm going to end up using. I do have a couple others there that I had considered, but I'm going to use that first one. So I don't have in my eyes enough orange in the colors there. The pink kind of turned a little orange, but not orange enough. And now it's getting really bright, which in some cases I like it, but I didn't like it with the flower. It just looked too, it fought with it too much, I think. Is like the color, the flower's pretty bright and the background was pretty bright, and to me it seems like you need one or the other. But I'm adding some more orange just to get the orange color in there. Again, don't Don't worry, it's gonna come together. I don't mind that, but still I don't love it. So now I'm going to do some texture paste, and I'm using this, it's kind of like a Gothic script, and I'm not going to cover the whole thing, just I'm going to make a little arc of it. And that's all I'm doing. And still it's too bright, but I gotta wait for the texture paste to dry before I do much more. So I believe the texture paste is dry now. And this is Crackling Campfire, because in the flower, the very center of it is pretty reddish orange. So I'm just doing a little bit of splatter of it. And then I'm going to dry that. And then I'm going to do a little splatter of vintage photo as well as around the edges. And I switched to my splatter brush that gives much larger splats, and so that's what I'm using there. And I'm gonna dry. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. And this is from Tim Holtz Field Notes. And it's got a label. It's like a label but with an edge around it. So I actually try to wipe off the border after I stamp it, because I don't really want the box around it. And this is Archival Ink in the color Pebble Beach, and it is permanent. So later on when I go and I'm removing color, it won't remove the color of the stamps because they're permanent ink. First, I'm thinking maybe if I add more pink, I'll be happier. So I'm positioning my stencil, trying to get it exactly where it was first, and add some more pink. This is Kitsch Flamingo. Sometimes you try to save something by adding and adding and adding, and sometimes you try to save something by removing. And so right now I'm in the adding and adding and adding stage. Soon I will be in the removal stage, just because I'm not liking it. It looks too messy for me. And to me, the focal image should stand out more than that. So I'm getting ready. I think in a second here, I'm going to start to try to save it. And so I'm just covering the whole thing with spritz of water. I let it sit in just for a few seconds and then lift off some ink. Look at the difference there already. Huge difference. And I think I do that at least 3 times. Getting better. I think I do another time though. So I'm just hitting the darker areas. So since I have removed so much ink, I'm reapplying around my edges. And now I'm going to start adding my collage. A lot of it is that piece right there I'm doing right now is a piece of paper from, I think it's cardstock, from Hobby Lobby. And I just really liked it because it looks like script, but you can't really tell what it's saying. And I like that about it. I bought a bunch of them. That's a digital item. And you've seen, maybe not this color of this flower, but you've seen the dahlia in other pieces. And I never am sure if I'm going to want the stem and the leaves. So in this case, the stem is really kind of awkward for me because it's just such a tiny little stem. It's not really a functional stem, so I do wish they'd make their stems longer. But the flower is beautiful. So as you can see, I'm going very light on my ephemera, except for the flower. And this little number brings in a little bit of black. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of a butterfly, a little bitty one. And the last thing I do is add a sentiment from the clipping sticker book, and I chose "She was free to follow her heart." Now, one thing you could do, and I opted not to, I might go back and change my mind. I don't know. If you have a sanding block, you can run your sanding block over the texture paste, which will get rid of any inks and stuff on top of it and will display the white textured paste beneath it again. So I might try that. We'll see. But if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like this piece, give me a thumbs up. I'll see you next time.